Thank you for coming to the online real estate training video number 6, being presented to you today by Richard Old. That's me. Today we're going to be talking about contract assignment, the no money down, no credit, no job that you've heard about on late night TV. You could buy this property even if you had a bankruptcy last week. Well, technically this is true, but it's more difficult. But if you need a way to get started in a period of such your time that just is not a good time for you, no job, no credit, no money, this is the way to get started, along with the information I gave you in webinar number 1. So people do ask, is it really possible to legally do deals with no money, no credit, no risk? Well, the answer is yes. Now, admittingly, you'll have to check in your state to see what is allowed, because some of them make it more difficult to do some of them. Some of the individual techniques are actually illegal in those states, but generally across the board, it's available and legal to everybody. You might have to tweak it just a little bit for some states, but generally it's available. And we have options. We have subject to. We have owner financing. We have combination of owner financing and subject to. We have partnership agreements with sellers and assignment of contracts. Now today, we're going to be dealing with assignment of contracts. Probably the easiest. Sometimes they call that flipping. It's absolutely not illegal. It's just you go out and find a property and put a contract on it and then sell that contract to somebody else. Absolutely legal. Now, the contract of assignment is a good way to get started. You don't need money down except for maybe $1. You don't need credit, no job, no collateral. You negotiate a good deal and simply assign your rights away for money. I would like to get that money up front. I would like to get the money on the day that I assign that contract, but usually the people you're selling to, they know that they could probably get you to take that money on the day of the sale. So you'll probably have to wait for your money, which is okay because you'll actually get a check at closing. Now, it will help if you fill out the Google Doc spreadsheet that I've talked about in prior webinars, the videos. And the reason I say that is when you are ready for somebody, you have a full sheet full of people you can go to. If you're going to be selling property or selling these contracts, you've got to have a group of people to go to. The first person may not want it. Maybe one person only wants duplexes. Someone else only wants property in this zip code. You know, there's a lot of people out there that want to buy properties, but they have stipulations. So we need as many people as we can get. Fill out that Google Doc spreadsheet. Everyone that I've ever coached, and I have worked with, over 10,000 people. So it's not like just one or two. I do real estate and internet, and every single one of them, once they're successful, has said that Google spreadsheet was invaluable. Absolutely fantastic. That's why I push it so much. So just what is a contract assignment? This is an agreement, a contract in writing between two or more parties that simply states that the end buyer will step up into the investor's position as the buyer, and they will complete the terms of the original purchase and sale agreement. Now, we do usually put $100 down with the contract, but you could put a dollar down if you'd like. But if you're putting $1 down and your competitors are using $100, keep in mind the people we're buying from are really anxious to sell the property, and they don't want to take a chance of it not selling. So they'll go with whoever they think is the best chance of them selling the property. They may think that that person with $100 might be better off, even though they may be the worst ones to go to. Just keep that in mind. Also, on these type of contracts, there is something you might hear or read called daisy chaining, meaning you sell the contract to one person and they have a buyer for that, so they sell that contract to someone else. So the end buyer might be paying for the house plus one, two, or more assignments. So first we're going to negotiate maybe 80% of the house, the fair market value, but that's not including all the repairs and everything. If it needs a lot of repairs, obviously it'd be quite a bit less. But I need plenty of room so that the end user that's buying that house, that end buyer, will be getting a good deal. Otherwise, they're not going to buy the house. So if I can't get it for 80%, let's say it's $100,000, I get it for $80,000 and it's in move-in shape. Well, then the person that's buying it from me, they could give me $5,000. They're into it for $85,000. They got $15,000 worth of equity the day after they close. So it's a very good deal for them. Set a long closing date. The reason I say that is it's not you buying the property. The person you're going to be calling up and saying, hey, I've got a great property for you, they've got to go out and look at it. They've got to get their people to go out and give them estimates as to repairs and so on and so forth. They've got to come up with their financing. So it's not you, it's them. And so it could take extra time. Try to give them as much time as you can get. Doesn't mean you can't negotiate an extended time, but right now let's see if we get as much as we can. Use the phrase, and you'll hear me say this many times, and or assigns after your name when you're buying a property. Not when you're selling it, but when you're buying it. There are most states that allow for assignments of contracts even without that in there, but let's go ahead and put it in just to make sure, just to make it as legal as possible. Include a clause that ensures you an out. We call it an out option. Perhaps you've got to have your partner review the contract and go out and take a look at the property. Perhaps it depends on if you can get financing. Get a couple of out options in there just in case. You always need to be able to get out because you don't want to get stuck. Find a buyer for the property. Look in your spreadsheet. Start calling people. Assign your rights over to purchase a property for a fee, and then you inform the seller of the change, and you're using an assignment form. So this page is the contract assignment recapitulation. I could have used recap, but I like the way the longer words fit with the picture of the houses above it. So by using the words and or assign behind your name, you have the rights to transfer your rights to purchase the property for cash. Interesting technique to generate cash and profits. You don't need any cash to buy the property except for the dollar or whatever you put down on it. The person you're assigning it to buys the property. You don't. You never own it. And then you're selling the contract for cash. So that's all we have for video number 6. In the online real estate training video number 7, we're going to go over the VA, FHA, wrap mortgages, and cash discounts. A wrap mortgage has nothing to do with rap music, as you will find out if you tune in to video number 7. Thanks for coming into number 6. Hope to see you at number 7. Have a good evening.